I posted a video a few years ago now about the MQ Triton piggyback headlight adapter switch. I think that's what it's called, piggyback something, to get your high beam signal when you're wiring a light bar. So a lot of wiring harnesses come with that adapter, but of course that adapter isn't one that works on a Triton, or an MQ Triton at least. Not sure about older model Tritons, probably not the newer ones either. So that video is still getting like a couple of hundred, or not a couple of hundred, about 100 views a month. So I figured there's still people out there looking for information about that. And I never really posted a how to install video because I'm not really into install videos because I'm not qualified by any means to give people advice on things. It's just, I've read the instructions, I watched as many YouTube videos as I could, and then I gave something a crack. But I realized that it's still hard to find certain information about certain products. So yeah, I might jump in there, down in here, where the headlight is, where I've got that piggyback adapter installed, and it's been there for almost 4 years, I think. And I'll rip it out, have a look, and then I'll see if I can show how to attach that. It's gonna be hard to video, it's so small down in there. Anyway, let's see how we go. So the thing we're trying to install is way down in here. You can't even see it. Going into the back of the headlight, using the MQ, I think MR and MQ were similar, or the same, specific piggyback adapter to go into the back of the headlight. Now I've just got some of the excess cable wound up in there in conduit that's been there for years and had no dramas. Might have to try and pull this out and then get some footage of it when it's out. This is where I think back to what a younger me thought was a good idea when sticking this in this hole. I can't even see it. Ah, that's better. Good old Ryobi work light. I'm having flashbacks of when I put this in. I'm trying to do all this with one hand because two hands don't fit in here. Oh, can you see that? That's part of it. Oof. She's a wee bit dirty. What I will say is, a younger me that didn't have as much knowledge about anything car related back then did a pretty good job. It's coming out. Here's one side. Ah yes, it's at the back. Oh, and of course I've got a cable tie there, the sharp end of a cable tie. Haha. Here it is. Ooh. So here's the piggyback adapter that I bought from eBay 4 years ago. I think it was 4. Let's say 4. Apologising for my heavy breathing. It's a bit muggy in my garage right now. So your standard plug for your light goes into the back of the headlight, and it's one of these connectors. This is the one that's on the back of your headlight wiring. And then you've got this side, which is your factory car wiring, which plugs directly into it. And then we need to tap into that signal. And then when we flick the high beam, this is how we're tapping into that signal. So the light bar, which I've got a King's, 18-inch light bar that I probably paid about $100 for, and installed it, 4 years ago, and it's been fine. So yeah, this is the bit you got to install in the back of your factory headlight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, this goes into the headlight side, and then this goes into the now loose wire from factory. Factory wire goes in here. And then you plug your light bar into that. So I'll try to get some video of the actual connector. Pull this guy out of the way. So that black connector there, something in there looks broken now. Maybe that's just the way the clip is. So that's the side that goes into, I can't even tell. But that black connector, one side of our piggyback adapter needs to go in there. And then that grey connector there goes into the other side of the piggyback adapter. They're only going to go one way. You can't get the piggyback adapter wrong because they're different connectors. If one doesn't go in, then it's going to be the other one, because you can't make a mistake there because they're unique connectors. So yeah, the black one down in there, and the grey one. Now that might be different on a later model or earlier model MQ or an MR if this is the same sort of thing. Probably is. So that's the two places that we're going to be joining from that wire to that wire with our piggyback adapter. And then we've got our loose cable out with the white connector on, which then we go to the light bar. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get any video of me putting this in that's any benefit, but I'll take some footage anyway. Now, the grey side, the black side that was down there, black side, I'm going to be plugging in, I guess this, the male side, I suppose you would say that is, because it's going into the other. So the black one looks like that down in the hole. So I'll be putting this connector into the black side. Then the grey one down in there will be the female side. Yeah, if that's appropriate these days to have male and female. The innie and the outie, how about that? So I'm just having a look at how the pins are lined up there inside that black connector, if I can even see it. Now remember, this is something I had to deal with last time. So just trying to find the right orientation. Like, it's only going to go one way. You look at how that's shaped. You can't get it upside down. It doesn't fit. But just trying to line it up properly before I go in, because I can't see anything once I've got it in here. Gotta love having a dog, barking at everything. Well, that's in. It made a little bit of a click sound. I don't remember it making a click last time, but it's been a long time. And then we've just got to do the same on the other side. That one you can kind of see. Little click there. So there we are. So that was the connector down here. There was the black and grey. And then up here is the grey on grey. So we've tapped into the headlight there. And then this is our cable coming out, which is going to get attached to the other side of it, which then goes into the relay, and then I've got my switch into the dashboard. And here we are. So I don't want to make recommendations to people. This just clicks in, if you can line it up properly. But I definitely say, conduit is your friend in the engine bay. And you bit of electrical tape there. Did have an issue out on our property a little while back with rats, and I had some rats that got in the engine bay and chewed on some conduit up on a cable, and they didn't get the wire, but they got the conduit, so I had to do some pest control. So that might have been a bit of wire, a bit of conduit that they were having a munch on as well. But sorry, my point. Conduit in the engine bay is just going to be safe. There's a reason why everything in an engine bay from factory is covered in conduit or some sort of protection. And I think if you're having a crack at things yourself, you want to be as safe as you can. Less chance of issues later. I remember when I installed my light bar, I didn't have any of the wiring for the switch or anything like wrapped up in conduit yet. I connected everything up to make sure I had the right the right setup and everything was working. So I had the little toggle switch that came with my wiring kit, which was a King's wiring kit. So I had it all laid out, and then came to the car, ignition on, headlights on. So I've got headlights on now, I've just turned them on, and then flick the high beams on and see if we've got the light bar working. Let's have a go. And there it is. Let's have a look. Oh, sweaty. There, light bar. Great. So there you go. Hopefully that gives a bit more insight rather than just an unboxing video I did a few years ago. Bit of an insight on how this thing works or how you might find the connectors for it up in your engine bay. The biggest problem I remember facing, and you sort of explained it today, was access up in there is really tough. Bigger hands, a bit harder. Maybe if you've got smaller hands, maybe there's a better technique that I don't know, but just physically getting your hands in there is difficult. The only other advice, I wouldn't even really say it's advice, or maybe it is, it's common sense. Do your research and do your reading on any wiring kit or any light that you're going to install, and find the right videos on YouTube from an Auto Sparky or the company that actually makes the thing about their recommended ways of mounting stuff. So I did my research just to make sure. So if you don't really know what you're doing, I think maybe you try and find out. And if you don't feel confident when you find out, maybe get someone to do it who knows what they're doing. Do I know what I'm doing? I don't know. Maybe.